Let's start this thing. Let's do this. Are we live? Are we? Seems that we are not really. I don't see my picture. What's going on? Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, here it is. YouTube is kind of slow today, so sorry about that. I hope you can see me. What's going on? It's very weird, but let's go, my friends. Welcome to the stream. If it's your first time here, welcome. Make yourself at home. We are going to make some awesome paintings today together. Well, I hope the painting will be awesome, but the moment shared together is going to be awesome. That's for sure. But what we have today, what I have for you today, is a flower study. Spring is here, and it's time for a change. I want to study flowers because flowers are beautiful, and I like beauty. I think I need to put more beauty in my paintings, prioritize beauty. So I'm gonna prioritize flowers, and I'm gonna paint this wonderful, all right, let me show it. This wonderful flower, Magnolia flower. I'm gonna study it from here, study the colors, study the shapes, and mostly I'm gonna use it to study brushwork because I want to incorporate more textures, more colors in my paintings. So it's going to be a small, relatively small one, but man, it's beautiful. You know what? I was lucky to take a photo when it was nice and sunny earlier. It was like 3 days ago. I took this photo, I regret it because hey. Okay, I have an audio issue. Hold on. Okay, I'm here. You probably didn't have the issue, I don't know, but I had it. Yeah, as I said, I'm gonna cut the music just for good measure. Alright, so I don't regret taking the photo earlier because like right now the flowers are already gone. That's life. But hello, my friends. So I hope you're all doing well. Hello, Cody, Nolwenn. Hello, Susan. Hello, Felicia, Attila, Sebastian. Everybody, welcome here. Welcome to the stream. All right. That photo will be good for this, I think. All right. Yes. And by the way, if you want to follow along, so this is first the inspiration for today. Spring will start tomorrow, March 19th. Okay, new beginnings, cleaning out. So the idea was, do I have a special spring, kind of routine or anything, like cleaning out, letting go the old, awakening or rebirth of the earth? It's pretty much something like that. I really want to have a new sort of phase. I like to think of my painting journey as kind of explorating different themes, different stuff. And right here, right now, I want to explore more, flowers, more nature. So that's what I'm gonna do today. And if you want to follow along in live stream right here, you can download the same image that I'm using, and you can do it as well. It's free, copyright free. It's straight from my garden, so feel free to use it. Hello, Shadow Star. Welcome here. All right, so let's put this view. I felt so inspired by your photos to go and paint plein air some tree blossoms. Alright, that's the spirit. I like this, Cody. Oh, it's still time for you to go outside right now, actually. So for us, it's like it's night here and it's starting to rain, and we had like some beautiful days, but right now it's really starting to rain again, and apparently it's going to be very cold in the next few days here in France. So yeah, I took advantage of the nice warm spring days that we had earlier this week, because I really think it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same now. Painted them yesterday. Okay. Creatively tuckered out right now. Oh, nice. It's nice, Felicia. Okay. So right here, I just want to have a very quick pencil outline. It's not you won't see much. It's just to make sure that I have the good size. So I'm not trying to go in any sort of details right now. I just want to make sure that this is the size that I want for this study. It's 24 degrees in this house. That's crazy. Right now they're announcing that it's going to go like straight back to winter conditions again. Yeah, the south of France, it's good and all. Like, I live in the north, but during the summer it gets really warm though, so it's not kidding. And it's starting like more and more with, you know, climate changing all the time, year after year. It's getting more and more dry every year, so it's good. You have an amazing spring, and you can grow stuff all year long, but summer is really like hell on earth. So sometimes, not always. Okay, so this size, it's slightly too small compared. I don't know about cold winters. I mean, the cold winters are what make you really enjoy the spring. Like, have you ever seen summer in the mountains? Like, winter is so harsh and very cold and all. There's nothing going on except snow and, you know, cold. But the summer in the mountains is crazy in terms of how nature suddenly blooms out of nowhere, and the season is so short, but still, and it's fascinating to see. It's very exuberant. Yeah, don't talk about it. Every year crops are dying due to watering. Yeah. Watering them is forbidden, well, with tap water. I don't know if I'll plant anything this year. I'm discouraged. Well, yeah, that sucks. I mean, you really have to, if you want to grow stuff with these temperatures now in the south, you really have to put all your marbles on, you know, stuff you can grow mid-season, but obviously the most interesting stuff is all happening in the summer. But it's almost like too hot, too sunny, too dry. Okay, and I want this branch here. I assume for those in America, southern France is almost, it's pretty much like California, I guess. I don't know in how, like California is pretty big, but it's like, I think it's the same type of climate. Like, I even think that in California it's called Mediterranean. And if I'm not wrong, which is still very possible, I think there are very few Mediterranean climates around the world. One is, of course, Mediterranean, and maybe something in a bit of Australia somewhere, not too much. And the rest is California, I think. South Africa is also Mediterranean. All right. It's very specific in how like not every area can have this type of weather. It's the best weather though. It's like when it's good and pleasant, when it's not burning hot, it's just the best. Like if you like the sun. I like my cold though. I like I said, it makes you enjoy the spring even more. So I don't know, really like the cold. I couldn't live without the cold. But yeah, to respond to Wandering Warrior on Discord, there is I do have like pretty much everything changes here in my own studio. Like personally, pretty much everything changes when the spring comes, because well, during the winter, first of all, my studio gets very cold. I don't heat that much, so the end of the winter is really very much appreciated, because winter is a pain. It's cold. I always wear like lots of, you know, insulating layers to keep me warm. I don't mind. I kind of like it. I don't like to
screenshot taken in the Discord.
Heat my my studio all the time and make the studio like too well. Yeah, I like it to be kind of cold. However, at the end of the winter, it's it's just starting to be a bit demoralizing if it's still cold in March in the studio. But so yeah, the spring is generally a good, you know, an enjoyable moment where you say, hey, now it's starting to get interesting. And my studio also gets pretty warm when the sun really hits during the summer, so it's generally the best season. So that's one cool thing. Spring cleanup. I should do spring cleanup. I don't know, like, do a lot of you guys also do spring? Do you have like this spring tradition? Is this a real thing, or is this like, you know, New Year's resolution and nobody really, like, everybody's talking about it, but it's nobody really applies and practice what they preach? I don't necessarily have a spring cleanup, but here in this case, in my own personal case, in my, you know, creative journey, as I said, I really want to sort of change course, explore new styles and stuff, and I really want to have a clean slate here and start over. So I'm gonna put all my previous work back in my storing room and start fresh, like only bring new some of the new stuff here and get rid of the previous work. I really want to have this, you know, fresh start almost, but it's mostly like it could have happened in whatever, in August or anything. It doesn't have anything to do with spring per se, but you know, in my case right now, this is definitely something that I'll be doing.
Emoji wall
Oh my
starts
god,
in 10,
emoji
9,
wall is starting
8,
already.
7, 6.
All right, let's
5,
have a flower
4,
themed
3,
emoji wall.
2, 1.
Let's try to find as many flowers
Emoji wall
as
unlocked.
we can.
This is chaos. Seriously, we need to break YouTube with emojis. We have 1 minute. Let's go, chat. We can do it.
Okay. Let's try
Let's
to
go,
find
chat.
flowers. Where are they?
Spam emojis. We need to fill
Oh,
the screen.
I have fruits.
No time to waste.
Dogs.
I'm serious.
Where is it?
We have to spam emojis in chat now before
Okay,
the timer
I don't
runs
have
out.
flowers, so...
Hurry
Oh, I
up.
have bees.
Quick. Let's go, chat.
Leaves. Nature. Okay, nature.
We have to spam emojis in chat now before
Nice,
the
I
timer
have
runs
flowers.
out.
I
No
found
time
them.
to waste. I'm serious.
Look at this.
Hurry up.
It's blossoming.
Let's go, chat. Let's
Nature
go,
is
chat.
blossoming.
Let's go, chat.
Nature is
Let's
waking
go,
up.
Chat.
Some pineapples for
It
good
ends in
measure.
5, 4, 3, 2,
And
1.
bam! Good job, everybody. Good
Emoji cool
job.
down.
God. Great emoji wall. Great emoji wall. If it's your first time and you're experiencing what just happened, it's too difficult to explain, but that's emoji wall. There you go. Alright, yeah, let's not try to explain that. It doesn't make sense, to be honest. It's just for fun. We do fun stuff here. Let me readjust. Sorry for the clicking noises. Alright. Cuddy was punishing you for a joke. I missed the joke though, so I'm kind of sad. Kind of sad, I'm not gonna lie. Hello, Socrates. Happy birthday, cousin Syra. Happy birthday to you. Alright, I'm gonna start with the branches. Kind of get an architecture of my flowers here. Okay, so there's one here, starting there. Maybe I can zoom in a bit, because you don't see much here. I'm gonna go pretty slowly, so I guess it's not... It's not too bad if you don't see the whole picture. Because I'm really going to go very progressively. Now I have some... Sorry, I'm trying to focus. It's difficult when you don't see much yet. When it's much easier to focus when you actually have a painting to focus on. When you don't have much, like the camera doesn't really get focusing really well, and you can't either. Yes, this is a Magnolia blossom, which is wild. It's wild that the tree basically grows flowers before leaves. I don't know how it happens. I don't know enough about like botanic. I don't necessarily want a more impressionistic look though. And I'm gonna do that more for the petals. I still want my... Nah, because I'm not sure I can get something too impressionistic, so... Yeah, vertical has a bit more discoverability. Actually, we gained a lot of new members of, not members of the community, like not YouTube members, but we gained a lot of new viewers, like recurrent viewers from going vertical. Yeah, you have several types, and actually I guess it's a thing. Like the Magnolia, you have like grandiflora, which is the big one. It's a huge tree. I have one in my garden. We actually have two. Like there's always the big one, the grandiflora, and the small one. They work completely differently. The big one blossoms in June, something like that. Huge flowers. And they smell like, I'm not kidding. There's one in my garden, and when sometimes it's mostly happening at night or in the evening, I get out of my studio and I smell, and I'm like, who's using like some type of laundry detergent, like, you know, good smelling laundry, and I'm like, who's making laundry right now? But it's not. It's the tree. It just only lasts for a couple days, but it's very strong, very intense. This one doesn't smell very good. It's just smells like nothing. This one, I don't know why. And I don't know. I've seen many gardens where you have the two trees, the two magnolias, the big one and the small ones. Relatively close to each other. I guess it helps them both. I don't know what it does, but yeah, I'll show you the big one when I can take pictures. It's very it's also very good, very impressive. It's an amazing tree. It's the type of tree that you think, oh my god, if this tree dies, the entire property is going to feel empty, and it's going to be such a void. It's not going to be the same place anymore. You know, the type of tree that's part of the architecture almost. Oh yeah, Monet's Gardens. I never visited. I should though. I'm pretty sure it's full of tourists. But must be more crowded than you would want for, you know, a nice nature experience. Oh my god, I'm sorry, Mike. That sucks. Yeah. Everything dies though. That's nature, that's life. That's everybody's fate, so yeah. That's a lesson of nature. Enjoy the beautiful things while they last, and try to make more beautiful things for the future. Try to leave some more beautiful seed. Try to leave the seeds of beauty behind you. Alright, so then I'm gonna try, I've mixed all this pink. We'll see if I had it right or not. I'm going to experiment right now. I'm gonna try to make it more a little bit less tight than I normally do, but you know, I don't consider my tightness that much of a problem per se. It's just I try to work on the areas that I'm not super good at when I have room to experiment. And yeah, definitely right now I would like to experiment more. Music is irritating. I like the music, Louise, so I don't know. I like it personally, so sorry. But yeah, see, I'm gonna try to loosen up. It doesn't mean that I'm gonna go full impasto though. Not yet. I want the structure in place, and then I'm mostly going to make the white pop up with impasto, but mostly in the end. Yeah, I want the texture more than the yeah, but I'm too much about realism to get that. Yeah, I know, I've never managed to paint impasto and keep the shapes realistic, and I know some artists do it and do it really well, but man, I don't know how they do that. Like, keep the realism yet have a lot of impasto, because I'm all, anytime there's a question of, you know, there's always this debate or this question or whatever. Whenever you talk about texture, what do you want? Do you want the texture of the paint, or do you want the texture of the object that you're trying to represent. So basically there is, you know, this texture has fluffy, you know, marshmallow petals. This is a texture of flower petals. If I do huge impastos, I can try to mimic this texture, but mostly it's going to look like paint. So that's a good thing. It's an aesthetic thing, like paint looks nice. But you can also focus more on being more in the realism, less in the impasto, and try to get the texture how it looks, like the texture of the wood, the texture of the petals and stuff like that. So there's always a choice to be made here. There's always a decision to be made. And so far I've always went with the realism choice, the realism decision. I don't know, but yeah, loosening up might mean just letting go of this, and yeah, I'm gonna try to experiment knife painting. Maybe I don't have the right types of knives. I've never managed to do anything good with knives. It's tricky, very tricky, and I know somebody was asking about that in the, you know, in the suggestions. Man, I don't know how to do knife painting. I've never really been very big on this. Never really experimented that much because it doesn't look exactly like something I want. So I never really gave it a serious try. Because when I see knife paintings, I'm not transported. Because what I like is to have actual good textures. I much prefer the texture of a Van Eyck, for example, than the texture of a Rembrandt. Because I think that Van Eyck was making much more realistic textures, and Rembrandt was more making, you know, paint textures. But yeah, let's try a bit. Here with this one, Van Eyck was Belgian, I think. It was from Flanders. So yeah, you can call it Dutch if you want. I think. I don't know. Was he? This is modern Belgium, but it wasn't probably back then. J'aimerais vous voir peindre des natures mortes ou des fleurs. Bah, c'est ce que je fais. C'est bien. Really? You think that I'm taking my time? Because in my book, this is called rushing it. But yeah. Alright, I'm really trying to... I'm not talking much because I'm trying to not stop myself from focusing on the construction, I'm trying to not focus on each individual pedal and all. Just go with the basic shape. See, you learn stuff about Belgium here. Well, you know what? Let's loosen up even more. I want a bigger brush. Yeah. Looking for the... Oh, Belgium is awesome in terms of paintings. If you're into paintings, like just visiting the Ghent altarpiece is amazing. Like you have tons of great paintings to visit, and the country is great. The blue background is just a wash of ultramarine. Loosen up. Kind of create a sort of the fluffiness first, and then sharpen on top of that. It's going to be my strategy.
Command, switching to palette for 10 seconds. Back to easel.
So I've got a big bunch of marshmallow texture here, so I'm gonna try to just paint the, you know, the color ambience, and then I'll see what I can do. So there's going to be one big flower here. Thank you, Oof. It hopefully it is nice. It's just the beginning, so I'm really not an expert in flowers, so I'm mostly experimenting right now. Yeah, I used to hate painting flowers though, but I love looking at them, and I've got to learn how to love it, because it's not normal that you like looking at it, but you don't like painting it. See? So I want more. Yeah, it's kind of a peaceful spring mood. I like it. Shoe and mouse. I'm intrigued. Okay, so all this bottom part, I can get rid of the blue. I'm gonna try to go.
Thank you Samgalaya Hinkianyi for the super chat. Your support is greatly
Hey,
appreciated.
thank you, Samgali.
Can we get some
For
GGs in the chat?
2 Canadian. Thank you very much appreciated. Love the flowers. Thank you so much. All right. It's getting somewhere. Let's do that. Let's do full impasto here for the kind of fluffiness here. Feels kind of like a marshmallow cloud of sorts. Yes, I do. Not this one necessarily, but in general, yeah. Yeah, when I have a reference, I put it right here. Basically, that's where you are. That's where I read my chat. Well, I have my reference here actually right there, the closest to me. As close as you can from, like as close as physically possible from your canvas is good. That's all you need to do. Like, there is no better placement than close to your canvas. Nothing beats that. So just do the best you can. Side by side is perfect. Let's bring this guy here just because I don't want the texture. It looks exactly like the same color, but it's not. I think he spins. Hello. All right. Just to have a the sky cutter will be mostly flat. I want to separate these more. On my in my model I have flowers behind those, but I want to get rid of them. Yeah, well, that's the thing though, is Cody, sometimes you have to be sharp. So you want to be sharper with what's in the foreground and looser with what's in the background. So a little bit of sharpness helps in this case. And here what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do all the loose kind of fluffy texture in the background, almost like, you know, out of focus from a camera. And then when it's when this is in place, I'll sharpen, redo the branches and focus on these, all these flowers. Yes, this is oil painting. Yeah, much love. Much love in the chat. So that's what you get from painting flowers. It just makes people nicer. Zoom out. Okay, I can do that. Yes, it is. It is Magnolia. Alright, let me know how it looks. Actually, a bit closer. It's need to really think about my placement so that you don't have my face in the way all the time. It's always a pain. Camera placement is always a pain. It's my least favorite aspect of all this.
Command, studio cam for 10 seconds.
Hi. What's going on?
Back to normal.
Oh, I see. I see, Nolan. Only a French can know this reference. There's a song in French called Magnolia Forever. Des magnolias par centaines. Man, it makes me use so much white. It's much more white than any of the rest of the colors. Like the pink is so easy to achieve. Like you don't need, like I have a huge stack of quinacridone rose here on my palette. It's really, I'm not gonna use that much of it, I can tell you, because a small touch is just enough to make it super pink compared to what I need. But actually the white is what brings this texture. And yeah. When you start asking yourself, what petal is this? Who, like, what flower has this petal, this petal? It's like such a giant mess. Really, you don't want to focus on that. But my brain just works like that. Anytime I make a thing, I want to connect it to something that I can conceptualize. But I should focus more on the texture, the feeling of the flower, not the... Not exactly, like, it's not scientific painting. Although scientific painting exists, and it's used to be a huge part of, you know, you had to hire artists to paint, you know, anatomy books. Now you can use, you know, like more imaging techniques, but for a very long time artists had to do all these scientific, you know, images. But I'm not doing that. So I should keep my mind from pulling me in this direction. No, I'm not thinking about light to dark. I'm thinking about just... I'm working not light to dark, but fluffy to sharp. So I want to first get all the fluffy texture in the background, and then I'll make something out of it. Actually, I'm not saying that it's good though. I'm mostly experimenting here. But I know that for texture, it generally works. It's on my Discord. Go in Discord and it's in art gear, I guess. I made a full camera setup video explaining it all. Thanks, Goody. Man, there is so much stuff happening. It's crazy. Nature is crazy when you think about it. I think the tulips, it goes back to the sort of the tulip mania. But they're still very, like the Dutch are still very, very big in the flower business. Like in Europe, most of the flowers you get from your florist are just come from the Netherlands, a lot of them. The Belgians are the best at growing linen to create, you know, the canvas that we use. And I'm gonna this year I'm gonna grow some linen in my yard. See what it does. It's a beautiful flower. It's soon going to be time to sew linen. and I'm not gonna make my own canvas fabric, but I want to see what this what it comes from. The linseed oil, the linen canvas, it all comes from linen. I use linen every day. I didn't know, like I knew how the flower looked, but I never grew it, and it's a beautiful tiny blue flower. If you want, I'll make an update. I hope it will grow here with my climate. So yeah, we'll see what linen does. I'm gonna try linseed oil. I'm gonna try. Why not? Why not make your own linseed oil? Sounds cool though. Can't be that hard. Making the linen clothes, linen fabric is tricky and very technical.
Command. Switching to palette for 10 seconds.
I think linseed oil might be doable. I hope I have the right type of
Back to easel.
Linen. Well, flax. I don't know why. Like in English, there are two words. Flax. Never really understood. Flax is the flower, I guess. In French, it's the same word. Linen is also the name of the flower and the name of the fabric and the name of the oil. Linseed oil is huile de lin. Hi, Rhiannon. All right. Doing good. Can you feed yourself doing art? Depends on what you eat. Discord link is broken. I don't know why they do that. It always happens. I hate it. It's always like that. I always have to change the links. It feels like it's all I do. Expire, never, no limit, generate new link. Okay, and then I'm gonna update the one here. Where is it? Oh, okay. Discord link. All right. YouTube message. Edit. All right. All right. I've changed the Discord link that appears in chat, so it might work now. Eh. Oh man, okay. That will work soon. Need to reset. Alright, just testing the link. Sorry for this. Oh, okay. Alright, it works. Alright, back to the painting. Oh my god. Alright, so giant mess is what I have at the moment. But I do pretty much have the cutters nailed. I wasn't worried about the cutters. I know I'm very confident with the cutters. Now what I need to handle is the texture and how to make it feel realistically like flowers, but not overdo it. And yeah, it almost look abstract now. So I want to balance. I want to keep a part of it almost abstract. Yes, it will be realism. It's just like right now, this is almost like working sort of the background. Because there's flowers everywhere. I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Would be much more simple to isolate one single flower. But since I want to, you know, I'm really not into painting one single flower in this case and studying how one flower looks. I'm interested in the surrounding fluffy experience, because if I can think about a painting project with this that I could use at some point with this study, what I would like is to have, you know, a beautiful woman completely surrounded in a sort of a big cloud of these. So I would have to potentially create this texture outside of the context of that, like almost create, you know, these Baroque paintings when you have like huge clouds. Well, I can kind of see the same, but with these flowers instead. Yeah, flax is the plant, linen is the seed in the fabric. No, but the seed is linseed. So linen is just the fabric. You make things way more complicated in English than it has to be. Yes, oil paint I am using. I think I'm gonna like this one. Now that I want to get into more sharp, like slightly sharper, redefining the shapes, this one will be interesting. It's almost the perfect size compared to the size of the petals here in my case. So this brush, might have exactly the right shape. Well, you just need to use a medium then. Any type of medium, just linseed oil. Linseed oil would be enough though. Man, I can't wait to harvest my linseed and try to make my own linseed oil and use it in my painting. That would be awesome. And after that, make my own sun thickened linseed oil. Also very cool. Because it will let me know that if there is ever shortages of you know, linseed, I can always get my hands on my oil medium. You know, sometimes, like at one time we had shortages of mustard. At other times, with what happens in Ukraine, we had shortages of wheat. You know, you never know what can happen in the world. And if I don't have linseed oil, if I don't have my linseed stand oil, what can I do? So I'm gonna grow my flax and make my own, try to exploit my own linseed, just for fun. This year I'm also growing amaranth, I don't know how you pronounce it, for a painting project, for another painting project. Such an amazing flower, but it's going to take me so long. No, I'm not in Ukraine, but there's been shortages in the entire, like mostly in, like it was threatening that shortages could happen. It didn't for us in France. Well, we're pretty much autonomous for that, but like a lot of North Africa, for example, was really scared because when they threatened to, you know, cut the trading routes, a lot
Screenshot
of people
taken
in
in
North
the
Africa
Discord.
were really dependent on Ukrainian crops coming in. So this was the big story of the agreements that they had to do, Russians and Ukrainians together. Like, you know, when you're like me, when you're from France, you're always very aware of the possibility of war and shortages. Like, my grandparents have went through like wars, like one of them. But my entire family have been through like many wars and like shortages and not having the stuff that you're used to. It's like now, like we seem to have forgotten all about it, but it's still very much a possibility. Like everybody wants to talk about, oh yeah, society is going to collapse. No, like it's not society collapse that's threatening, it's just war. Like a war is still a possibility. So there might be shortages. If there are shortages, I don't want to be cut from my linseed oil. So I'm gonna grow my own linseed.
Screenshot taken in the Discord.
Yeah, I saw the shooting in Russia. Very sad to see, man. Crazy world. Thank you very much, Needy. And hello to Jeff. I didn't have time to say hello to Jeff, but yeah. That's a command. We have a command. You can type. I think you simply type screenshot, and it takes a, well, like its name says, it takes a screenshot. Thank you, Elisette. Yeah, you just only realized that Jeff is here. Well, it's pretty much, I think it's perfect because that's exactly how flies are. You know, you hear them, you know they're there, but they're super hard to spot. They're always so elusive and yeah. Oh no. The voice that you hear is Steven, actually. Steven, how are you doing?
This chat is super cool. Best art community on YouTube.
Thank you,
I'm having a
Steven.
great time.
Oh, nice. Yeah, this painting is graceful. I hope it will be in the end. I don't see it yet. I'm still too much in my I don't like what's going on here, but of course it's not finished though. Les fleurs du printemps sont les rêves de l'hiver racontés le matin à la table des anges. Oh, that's nice, Mary Sugar. Who is it from? Is it yours? I don't know this one. The flowers of spring are like the dreams of the winter told in the early morning at the table of the angels. Oh, nice. I like this. Alright, more white. I'm gonna grab a different white that I think would be better here in this case. Hold on, I'll be back. See, this is the good thing about trying lots of brands, is that you always have a different type. So normally I like my Michael Harding white, but here I want to use the Sennelier one because it's much more creamy and runny. Yeah, sure. This is the last thing I'll do, basically. Thank you, everybody. I love you guys. I'm getting another white that's way more, I don't know, less stiff. So I think it could nicely complement the white that I have, the Michael Harding one. This entire part is almost this pinkish white here. Just almost that entirely. And what I need to do though is also get rid of these. It's always the most annoying part. It's like, you know, the part where colors touch and you don't want them to blend. So you have to you have to be very careful, take your time. And so it's very, very annoying sometimes to do, kind of tedious, you know. Do the part where it barely has to touch. "3 a.m. Wow. You're either a night owl or you're waking up very early for work." Oh, that's a very nice surprise, thank you. Thank you for the love. I take all the love I can get. Man, talking about love, the baby's growing. Can't believe it's already almost the end of March. The baby is expected for June. Can you believe that? Well, I can't. Inadvisable. I don't know about this color you're talking about, Socrates. If you find the name, I'll tell you, but I don't know what you're referring to.
Screenshot taken in the Discord.
Oh, zinc white, yeah. No, I wouldn't use zinc white for that. I wouldn't see the point though, because it's the least transparent. The least transparent white. The least opaque, sorry, I'm messing it up. Least opaque, and I don't need the least opaque. I actually need the more opaque white. Thank you, Alex. As I said, beautiful model, beautiful painting. The subject itself is beautiful, so it's not really difficult when you already have something beautiful. It's not really difficult to make something out of it. Even like a modest attempt, if your model is very, very beautiful, then your meager attempt at getting something good might look slightly decent. If you take an ugly model though, you're making things way harder for you. Ouch. Okay, let's have a little Impasto check, because I was asked to do Impasto. So let's have an Impasto check. You tell me how we look in terms of Impasto. So hold on. I think I can push it slightly. This is generally the amount of impasto that I go for. I know some of you go way harder. Perhaps more. I was pretty much sure you were going to say that. But yeah, this is an impasto check at this moment in time, so we'll have more. What matters though, in my opinion, with impasto is to make it balanced. Hold on. What matters with impasto is to make it balanced, which means not getting impasto all over. Like, for example, the background and stuff you don't really want to emphasize too much can be non-impasto like this, and then when you have stuff you want to bring more focus on, more impasto, slightly more. But yeah, so moving on. The trick, the real challenge for me with him when it comes to impasto is getting it to stay in shape and still be realistic. That's my the biggest challenge for me. So Impasto has a... Obviously, when you do Impasto, you lose a lot of your... how to say? Accuracy. Sorry, I'm placing my canvas again. Yeah, it feels very much like Japanese, or it feels like the new tree in Minecraft. For those who know, even though it's not a Magnolia, I guess. It gives me these types of vibes. Right. Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't see the camera was not right, sorry. Completely messed it up. Alright, how does it look? Ah, man, messed it up again. Camera placement. Hopefully soon it can be automated with an AI that automatically knows what you're painting. The flower is the Magnolia. Hey, painting and cycling sounds like a plan. You have fun, man. Yeah, I kind of removed these. There are flowers here. I wanted to bring more emphasis on these. And actually, I think I'll also bring background here. So that I have more emphasis on this bunch of flowers. Focus more on this part. So, which would make it here, cut this, and here, you know, penetrate into this space with the blue. And this way, it will make them stand out more. I think that's what I'm gonna go for. Of course I need to reshape, but yeah, you get the point. I'm already running out of white here. I'm using oil paint. Oh yeah, I didn't do the entire bottom part. It's fluffiness. I'm gonna do that. Just marshmallow fluffiness is all I'm gonna do here, because I have no intentions of detailing this part. And yeah, I need to finish this also, because it doesn't make sense. This entire bottom part, I need to do that. Make all the sky color disappear, otherwise it will not work. Logically speaking, it will not make sense. Yeah, but it reminded me to do that anyway, so still lots of stuff to do. But look at that, we have almost covered the entire canvas, which is very rare that I paint this much during a stream.
Command, switching to palette for 10 seconds. Back to easel.
Very rarely paint this much in such a short amount. Normally no, but you know, I might sell this one. I might start to sell, you know, the short formats, because they're actually very easy to ship. I was thinking at some point of making a, you know, selling the originals that I do. Thank you for a goatee. So yeah, right now this one is not intended for sale. It's a study, it's a color study, because I want to use this type of flower in bigger compositions. So but I'm thinking more of making these putting these for sale at some point for pretty cheap. So instead, like, cause I don't want to make prints, but selling these small studies would be cool, and would be a cool way to, you know, support the stream though, in a way. Now, as you can see, I'm bringing more punch by almost picking pure quinacridone, and I'm working on all, you know, all the flowers have more pink at the base. I don't know how it's called in English. I'm not even sure in French. So, and I'm emphasizing the bottom part, like the calice, I guess. The chalice, maybe. Chalice. I don't know how. Like, I know there is something with, like, in French it's calice. So what I'm doing is I'm using pure color. Like, I would have a more muted version here, and I'm using here the most potent one to sort of bring it a little bit more punch and like push it forward a bit. I see, Cody. So how far in are we? Oh, only an hour and a half. I was pretty sure it was more. So yeah, because I've covered so much surface and I'm not used to painting this fast. But I like the potential in this approach, which is why I'm doing these types of studies. It helps me paint faster, and I definitely need that. And I'm almost considering, and I know it's so unlike me, but these days I'm considering ways to, you know, kind of revolutionize the way I approach my painting process. You know, I need some change. I would like some change. So I'm considering painting that outside. Why not? Some days, like when you're painting outdoors, you really have to go for it and not hesitate. And I kind of like this kind of spirit of just paint fast, do the best you can, and figure it out later in the studio if needed. But start fast and go for it, right? So I like the spirit of plein air, and I have all the plein air gear that you need. Beautiful flowers, I have plenty in my garden. There's going to be plenty this spring, this summer.
Screenshot taken in the Discord.
I don't know how I would record and stream plein air though. However, if it's here at home for me, this could be a possibility. I could stream or at least record, like shoot, make a video of a plein air session. That would be a possibility, not too difficult, I think. Thank you, Uncooked. See you, Niggy. Go get some rest. It's very late for you, so. Yeah, I do, but it's really something. It's from years ago, and I have not painted plein air that much for a while. And most of my main work it's never been plein air really. So so yeah, this would almost be going back from square one for me if I went back to plein air, because it's just been so long. Thank you, Urban Eyes. Thank you, Kaden. Yeah, here in this case, I'm using a photo reference. Thank you, Rena. See you next time. Thank you, Norris. I started with the branches, yeah. I still think you can rewind even on your phone. I think it's still an option if you want to have a look at the beginning. Man, I'm running out of white so fast with this. Thank you, Fan4. I'm glad it was helpful. So what do you do now? Do you do your own original paintings? What kind of painting do you do? Hey, don't worry, Aurelia. I'm usually very slow. Today I'm experimenting and I'm trying to push my limits a bit. But yeah, normally I'm slow. Nice, flowers and pumpkins, I like it. Oh nice, still life set, it's cool. Getting started with a still life is not super complicated. Like generally a little any type of little box can be a, you know, a nice little black box. You can start with. The most tricky thing with having a setup for still life is where do you store all these like tiny objects that you paint. That's the trickiest part for me, is like I would need a big, you know, a big cabinet of, you know, small nice looking things that I would want to use in my still life, so that I can open the cabinet and see them all and you know, pick and choose. But I don't have room for that. But man, so yeah, I would need that, because outside of that I rarely find inspiration for still life. Like if all the objects are spread apart, so I know that, oh, in my bedroom I have this object that I like, this vase, and in the garden there's a beautiful flower or a piece of rock that's nice, that has a nice shape, or in the kitchen there's this whatever. So if I have to go and look for all these objects, I'm not gonna have the idea of putting them together in my head, like it doesn't click. But if I can have them all, like all the beautiful objects that inspire me would be in the same spot, and you know, almost in the same, you know, cabinet of some sort, it would make it much easier for me to you know, visualize the still life and find inspiration at the same time. But I don't have that. And like, it's very important, visualizing your project, your idea before starting is pretty vital for the inspiration. Otherwise, no inspiration. If there is no inspiration, you don't even start. Nice, yeah, Aurelia, that's a good idea actually. It's been a while since I wanted to do a sort of a still life special on my channel. No, the reference is actually down there in the corner. From up close, it kind of looks like ham in a way. Like, I guess you would call it Canadian ham. And like, it's mostly quinacridone rose that's making this cutter, and white, of course. Oh no, that's bacon. Bacon, that's okay, yeah. It's Canadian bacon. I never really understand how you call this, but there's bacon, Canadian bacon, and ham. Because we don't call it exactly that here in French, so I never really had. Uh, 103 is decent for my channel. Well, just go ahead and share then. Just like and yeah, share the video. The colors. Let me switch to the palette. So right here. So I'm using titanium white, yellow ochre. I've used a little bit for the branches. This I haven't used that much, just a touch. This is cadmium orange, purple red. I had those just to try, but I mostly used a small amount of those, so not much, to mostly adjust the pink. This pink here, which is my main pink, it's really close from most flower colors that that use the pigment from the flowers. I think is anthocyanin or something like that. So, and it's really close to this base color, like the same you have in beetroots and stuff. And this one is the burnt umber, phthalo blue, ultramarine blue, and this is phthalo turquoise for the sky. And that's about it. So there you go. There you go. Yeah, but you know, painting is pretty niche on YouTube. It's not very big. So yeah, we don't have as much, like I personally, I have a relatively small channel. It's not really super popular. It's just that's it. Oh, if you're afraid of wasting, you just take some MDF or any type of wooden panel. Just take some gesso. Just take artist quality gesso, but don't bother with anything, and just prime it and just make your studies like that. With anything flat can be gessoed and painted, so go ahead and try with that. And when you feel more confident, you can invest in invest in real canvas. You'll see it makes a difference. Actually, a good panel that you gesso yourself can be better than bad quality pre-made canvas. My canvas, I prepare them myself, I prime them to get them with the exact texture that I like. But if you do your own, you know, primed MDF panel, you will have the right texture and all, and it will be it will be pretty good for a very, very reasonable price. You can repaint with oil paint. Not, you can't just gesso again. Yeah, I agree as well. It's a good idea to keep your old paintings as progress reminder. Even though sometimes you are allowed to hate your own bad work. Like, it's not a... Like, I'm sorry, but I have works that I made that I really hate, so I threw some of them. And, you know, when you do that, most of your relatives say, no, don't do that, I like it and all. Don't listen to them. If you don't like it and if you think that something is not right, follow your artistic instincts. If you think that something is not good, you have the right, that's your work, you have the right to throw it in the trash. And this, it sounds kind of harsh, and but in a way that's also your work of artistic selection, you know? Like, you're selecting what works and what doesn't work. So you can keep it to record your progression, but if you really dislike what you did, that's your right as the artist to destroy it. And like, many artists have been known to destroy their bad works. Most of the time what I do with a painting that I don't like is I'll leave it on the side, because I have a space here. I'm gonna keep it on the side and see if I can sometimes I have the courage to go back and finish it later, fix it. Sometimes I don't, and I put it in some type of oblivion part of my section. But let's say I need the canvas, then I will not hesitate. I'll just pop an old one, failed canvas, and there you go. Nicely explained, KB. I +1 this comment from KB. This one. I approve this message. Yeah, I don't think you don't thin down the paint just for to save money though, but it's mostly for the consistency. Yeah, it's just it's just the fluidity that you're looking for. Nah, don't be. Don't be. Like, huge surfaces, yeah, you should be intimidated and you shouldn't try first. But you should not think that it will be easier if you paint on super tiny surface though, because it's not going to be easier. And I like the best size is basically the size, like your main subject, your main point of interest should have basically the size of the palm of your hand. That's the best size for anything, for portraits, for, except for figure. A face should have the size of your hand if possible. So you don't want something miniature. That's the best size to start with. Brands, I use a bit of everything, but you can ask it in chat what people think is their favorite. So if you combine everything in, everybody in chat, you have like tons of different options. Yeah, not only about details, it's also hard to see properly. And yeah, like you said, too big is just too much of a fight. When you paint super big, you fight against the painting, and it's a battle. You don't want that as a beginner. You want something nice, simple, cozy. Yeah, I have one video about African. I have a video about African skin tones on my channel. You can check it out.
Screenshot taken in the Discord.
I'm not detailing a lot. It's really not detailed. I don't know what you're talking about. It's because you have the camera is pretty far away. I can assure you that it's not detailed. It's very not detailed. I can testify from that. They're right. It's not a career. If you make art, and if you make art first and be good at making art before you think about making a career. First, make good art and prove to everybody that you're just so good that you've got it. And then they will believe it. But if you say, I'm going to become an artist, but so okay, so show your art right now, the best art. Like, it's going to be, obviously, it's going to be hard to convince anybody who doesn't believe in art by default that this is a viable career, because it's not. I'm mostly not making money from selling my paintings. Most of my money is from YouTube and stuff. And even though I do sell my paintings, but it's a very, very small amount compared to the rest. So it's not a career. It's not a career. Make art and slowly try to find ways to monetize art, but be smart and don't think that the world owes you anything just because you make good paintings. Just no, like, what, Cody? Are you implying that I should add more details? Yeah, I agree. That's a good strat. Like, study on your own, make your own path slowly but surely, without worrying about how much money your art is going to provide this month. And then if it turns out that it can bring money, then slowly consider making a switch to a full-time career. But no, don't expect a painting to pay the bills. Which one? This one? Top one? Yeah, I haven't, like, there's a floating flower here. It almost feels like an AI, you know, not finishing not finishing some parts. But the far right, oh, this one? No, I kind of like it though. It's just that it's floating in the air, so I agree. But actually, I would need... nah, don't pick it for uni. It's going to be atrocious, you're just going to be disappointed. No. Just make art. My recommendation is make art. University, like, you wouldn't believe how many people come to me saying, oh my god, I never knew about this, and I've been to university studying art for years and I never heard about that. Well, some universities, you don't study this kind of stuff, and if it's what you're interested in, you're not gonna get it in most universities. It's just, it needs to be connected here. Cody, that's what was triggering you. Yes, I was able to do that on my own. And university could not teach me all about that, because they, in France at least, they hate this type of art. They fight against it with all their heart. They discourage students from trying to go for this type of art. Nah, nobody cares about your art degree. So your parents are right. Like, it doesn't mean you should stop making art. I encourage you to make art. Now, I'm pretty sure you can make way more art by not going to art school than if you go. I was studying philosophy and I was drawing every day. So make art first and make career later if it works. And if it doesn't work, you still have art. No, Lucia, I totally disagree with you. If you want to, you say, if you want to be successful, do what you love for a living. It used to be my mindset. No. If you want to be successful, find a way to do the things that make you better every day and help you grow as a person every day. Just selling paintings doesn't accomplish that. It can. Making paintings will. Selling them has nothing to do with the type of joy that you get from art. So if you think about art as a career, you have everything wrong about it. And it tells me that if you worry about how much money you can get from your art before you even start making it, like you're thinking it backwards. And you're running into severe disappointment. So I strongly encourage you to start with plan B while you take the time to really make your art, because art will take time. It will not be mature for a very long time. So start with plan B. And your art will, my art was plan B in my life. I didn't start by saying, okay, I'm gonna be just the greatest painter ever and I'm gonna sell paintings for millions. I said, okay, let's imagine that there is no money in art, because there isn't. There is money, but it's not for you. I'm telling you that. It's a very closed circle. And those who have money to spend in art are generally not interested in you. I don't know you, but the simple fact that you're there interacting with us tells me that you're not part of the circle that can sell paintings for millions. Can you make a modest income with art? Sure. However, it's still a good idea to have a plan B. Yeah, like having to do your passion on a deadline, for example. Or sometimes what artistic people end up doing is they go into, you know, graphic design or some stuff. Like think of Pam in The Office. She is artistically skilled, or she likes art, and she ends up picking a course of graphic design of some sort. I don't know if you remember the show The Office, but well. And this is not art. Graphic design is not art. And she says it at some point in the show. She says, oh, I thought it was art, but it's just Photoshop and just creating logos and stuff. No, it's not art. And if you like art, chances are you're not interested in just making boring logos for a brand. Combining med school and art is tough though, so yeah. Med school is very intense, so yeah, don't do something that would, like, med school is not what I call plan B. No, it's mostly, med school is something you have to really dedicate yourself to. It's hard to just, you know, focus on something else. Thank you, Lost Explorer. Well, Lucia, graphic design would be more related to art, but it's not art. It's like a boss coming in your office saying, hey, we need this logo done by 11, so, or you're fired. Well, I don't care. I don't want to create the new Burger King design for their, you know, new menu, or I don't want to do this brand's, I don't know, book cover. I don't care. Like this, like who, like if you like this type of stuff, good. Personally, I would hate myself doing this. Or design, even like something that sounds fancy and all, like, oh, I create characters for a video game, I work with Blizzards. It would suck. I would hate this job with a passion. I would hate to create, you know, stuff that's not for my vision.
Screenshot taken in the
that
Discord.
A boss tells you and complies you to do. So yeah. Well, no, I would not hate to do that, but I would hate to call this my way in doing art. So let me rephrase this. I would love to work for Blizzards or for Activision, creating gun skins for Call of Duty, let's say, designing, making 3D assets or whatever. Like I would like it, I would not mind it, but I would call it my job. I would not call it, hey, I'm an artist and I'm making graphic design. I would call it, oh my god, I have this freaking job that I have to go to. I have to design this assets for Ubisoft. And okay, so that's cool. That sounds like a dream job for everybody, but it's not art. That's my point. As long as you keep that in your head, you can go for graphic design. Don't fool yourself into thinking, hey, it's artistic. Just because it takes some artistic skills to apply for the job doesn't mean it's art. But it's much closer though than medicine. It's much more compatible with, let's say, having this as a job and making art as a hobby. Oh yeah, but the ref is just optical focus. I focus on just that. Oh my god, no, absolutely not. What does the boss know about art? Oh, good. So if you like the idea, it's nice. It means that maybe that's what you want. No, but I see what you mean, Cody, but it's just I'm not following the optical limitations of the camera in this case. I'm mostly going for the type of focus that I want. Because really the camera has a depth of field that's set to a certain distance from the lens. But personally, I don't have to worry about that, so I'm good. I can. Well, at least, Lucia, I encourage you to keep the discussion open in the Discord. Join the Discord and just ask away in the Discord. I'm sure you'll have like lots of people from all sorts of horizons. So you'll have probably more testimonies. Like my point of view as a full-on artist, like full-time fine artist, it's one thing, but I'm pretty sure on the Discord we have some graphic designers, some people who work in this field, so it might be interesting, especially if you have to convince your parents. If you have to convince your parents, you might want to be convincing. I would say more impressionistic here in this case, which is rare for me. Somebody take a screenshot, because I think that's where I'm going to stop the painting for today. I'm gonna stay in the discussion a bit, but I don't think I'm gonna go far. So if you want to take a screenshot,
Screenshot taken in the Discord.
yeah, I think I'm not gonna have the pose. All right, so what I would probably do is, if I want, I refine, but this is more, yeah, it's more impressionistic. But that's good. That's good, my friends. Yeah, Ellen wanted to do that. Anya as well. Anya hasn't been around for a while, but she would be happy to contribute to the discussion. Yeah, this is full of texture actually. It's very much full of texture. Yeah, my friends, it was a fun one. I'll see you for the next one. Maybe some more flowers, but I will not have a nice clear blue sky because it's still raining this night. It will rain all weekend, so we'll see what we have. But my friends, this is going to be your sunshine for the day, and I'll see you for the next episode. Bye bye, my friends. See you.